Hi everyone, I'm Julia.
And I'm Philip.
So today we want to talk to you about how to have a very cheap wedding in Charleston. So normally a wedding in Charleston costs about 40 to 50 grand, and people even have $1 million weddings here. We had a very beautiful wedding to about 100 guests for just under 10K. And with all the wedding presents we received, we actually made money from the wedding.
Yeah, and we'll go into all the details here in this video about how you can maybe save some money here and there. But my family being from Charleston was a huge help as well. So if you are looking to come to Charleston from out of town, it might be a little bit more difficult, but there are definitely still some great ideas we can share with you to help out.
Right. So first, have a budget and stick to it. I know this is so cliche. People say that all the time. But from very early on, we said our budget is 15K and we're not going to go over, it doesn't matter what. So we made a priority of what we want. So number one, we want an open bar. Like that is like our biggest priority. So in order to do that, we compromised to have a buffet rather than people serving food to have like a 5-course meal. We had like the cheapest option for a buffet in order to have an open bar and still stick to our budget.
Yeah, definitely. Thankfully, our venue was able to package together the food and drink as well, which was a huge help.
Right. Make sure when you book your venue, you don't pick one that make you spend like over $200 per guest. Like when you sign a contract, ask questions. Ask a lot of questions before you commit to a venue. Number two, restrict the amount of people to attend the wedding.
Yeah, so families can get very big very quickly. When you're initially thinking about it, you'll be like, oh, it's not that many people. But then those people know people, and those people know people, and so on and so on and so on. And yeah, it gets pretty big pretty quickly.
Right. And also, like if you're two working adults, especially like us both being in the military, I think it's very important to have the distinction between who we want to invite as friends and who are our colleague, who are our work friends, right? If he decided to invite people from his previous ship, like from his wardroom, then I'm probably going to do the same thing. And that's like off the bat, 20, 30 people each side. So we are very careful regarding who we invited and who we did not invite. And if there are people on the line, it's like, oh, should I invite? Should I not invite? If you want to have a wedding on a budget, then probably no.
Yeah, I mean, the number of guests can start adding up the cost very quickly. Yeah, because you have to feed them, they're going to drink, they're going to, attend, and your venue is probably going to charge by the head to some extent, and so is, the people serving you the food. So, yeah, just be careful of that.
Right. Number three, utilize your family member, right? Like having a wedding is not just the two of us is having a wedding. It's like two families are having a wedding. So don't be afraid to ask for help, right? Like my aunt did my hair, helped with my makeup. My mom and my aunt tailor my wedding dress, which saved $500 to a wedding dress tailoring can be very expensive. And if you can get away with just some bobby pins, why not? You can always Photoshop your picture. My sister worked as my photographer and while also as my bridesmaid. I know a lot of people, they're afraid to ask for favors, but like your family are more than happy to help you, so don't be afraid. And Phil's family helped out a lot as well.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Like my grandparents were able to help us with the church downtown because they were members there. They were able to help with the venue, which ended up being at a yacht club that they're a part of, which was absolutely beautiful on the water. And that just saved us a ton of money packaging it together. Try and put things together if you can too. If the venue will do food and drink and, maybe even a photographer. Thankfully, Julia's sister was a photographer, so that worked out very well for us because those can be very expensive as well.
Right, and people easily spend thousands of dollars on rehearsal dinner, right? Which is the dinner you have before your wedding day. But to be honest, just keep it small. Everyone's traveling from out of town. Like, I know that maybe you should invite them, but keep the rehearsal dinner small. Order takeouts from Publix. Like, don't make it unnecessarily fancy.
Ooh. So one thing with the rehearsal dinner as well, it's probably the night before and a lot of people are arriving. I'd say probably most people are already there. you can, if it works out, try and suggest something for people to do. So for us,
Right.
we had a concert. It was like a train concert or something at a stadium nearby. So we recommended that in one of the emails to our guests, and a lot of people really appreciated that. I know it was the same night as the rehearsal.
Right, so to still make people feel included. And with that, he just mentioned about email. So I know like a lot of brides like to handmake the wedding invitation card to save the date and the actual invitation and like the wedding announcement. We did it all through email. We did not send out a single card. That saved us a lot of time. Like it might not be a money thing, sending out cards, but it saved us so much time. And it's honestly the best way to communicate. If people have any questions, they directly emailed us. We can reply back to them within minutes. It's just so convenient. We got everyone's email address. We made an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah, just make sure those email addresses are up to date for those people, because if they don't get the emails, then they probably won't know anything and might not show up. So
Right, just send a text message or utilize your email. Use modern technology. You don't have to send them a postcard. You don't have to like lick every stamp or like handwrite everything to make them feel special.
Yeah.
People understand. If they don't understand, why are you inviting them? And so, I forgot what number we're on. Anyways, DIY, do it yourself as much as possible. So for example, our centerpiece. People go so overboard with their centerpiece. People like get real flowers, get expensive like Chinese pottery, like make like candies or whatever they do for their centerpiece. We got fake flowers on Amazon and sweetgrass rose, which is like $2 for one rose, versus real rose, which is $20 for one rose for our centerpiece. I actually got it from one of my relative, my stepsister's mother, and we just made it ourselves. I got a vase from Goodwill for 50 cents. The whole centerpiece cost us probably $200 versus some people, again, spend thousands of dollars on their centerpiece.
Yeah, the little things for the wedding can add up very quickly if you're not careful, from tablecloths to centerpieces to flower decorations. Like, they can get very extravagant very quickly. So like
Right.
Julia was saying, do anything you can there to save some money. And if your venue is beautiful, you probably don't need to decorate it that much either.
Exactly. And that brings us to our next point. Cut out all the unnecessary expense. We did not do gift bags. I think gift bag is such a waste. If you've been to any wedding, you can see that a lot of people just leave their gift bag like on the table, like little candy or a little chocolate with your all's initial. It's cute, it's expensive, but how many people do you think actually appreciates it? Like, sure, people say, oh, it's cute, and take a little Instagram picture, maybe eat it, but like, is that worth spending like extra $20, $30 per person? Probably not. And how many people are gonna have like actually, like put up your little card or whatever with your initials on it, treasure it?
Yeah,
Probably not many.
There's no need to stress yourself out over little things like that.
Right. So it's decoration.
Yeah.
Like we did not use any real flower. We kept it very, very simple. We just used the venue itself. Like, people don't really notice it. People, especially if you have an open bar and people are just there to have fun and keep it small, people mingle, people talk. No one really pay attention to the gift bag or the decoration. Sometimes when you're planning a wedding, you can get into your head and think, oh my God, this is gonna be awful. But I promise you, it's not gonna be that bad.
Yeah, keep in mind, people are there to see you guys, like the bride and the groom. They don't care about all like the little extravagant things. Yeah, I mean, it might make you feel better, and ultimately, yeah, you need to do enough to where you'll feel good about your own wedding, but not too much to the point, like Julia was saying, where it just stresses you out and it's just not fun anymore.
Right. And also a few smaller things that maybe you can consider. So for our cake, we got that from Publix, which is half of the cost if we got that from like a bakery. I know we want to support small business, we really do, but like a baked cake from a bakery is $1,200, and then we got a very similar cake from Publix for $400. And we kept the cake very simple, no extra decoration. It was delicious, and we had plenty of leftover, even though we ordered for like 75 people.
Yeah.
And we had about 100 people come. We still had plenty of leftovers.
Yeah, keep in mind, a lot of people probably aren't going to eat the cake. That goes for the food too, but especially the cake. At that point, it's probably a little later and everyone's already eaten dinner. And some people, just probably won't want the cake. So you might end up with a lot of extra cake if you're not careful there. Definitely don't order a 1-to-1 ratio of cake to guests.
Right.
So.
That's like a small thing. And one thing that really worked out for me is that I did not buy the dresses for my bridesmaid. And that saved me a lot of time, money, and energy to choose or select the bridesmaid dress for them. And they actually really, really appreciated it. I mean, every woman, we have different size, different taste, different style. It's very difficult for you to choose your dresses for even your besties. So I just decided a color I want to go with is actually light blue, very similar to Philip's tie right now. And I just sent that color and I told them, hey, buy whatever dress you like. So they got whatever dress they liked. They're very happy with the dress they bought, and a lot of them repurpose the dress later on. Either it's for like another birthday party or like a Navy ball. So yeah, another small thing is like your ring. As you can see, I really like my ring. This is my engagement ring and this is my wedding band. Don't spend, again, unless you want to, don't spend too much money on the wedding band. A wedding band, like your engagement ring is probably already pretty pricey. There's no point spending another 5 or 7 grand on a wedding band. Just be conscious of the small things that, I'm already spending so much money, might as well. But all the small things, like all the might as well, adds up and then really bring you over the budget.
Yeah, and you can look for ways like we were talking about earlier to package things together. So like for us, we got a DJ who helped kind of guide the evening as it went as well, which was really nice. He would make announcements, or we just met with him beforehand and we're like, hey, we want to do this at this time, this at this time, and this is kind of how we want the night to go. So we didn't need to hire a separate like wedding planner or organizer. Those can get really pricey as well.
A wedding planner is so expensive and it might be stressful, but everyone is there for you. And if anyone's judgmental about your wedding, they should probably not even be invited in the first place. It's all about you. Utilize your family. Have people help you work things out. Understand that doesn't matter how much you planned it. Something is gonna go wrong. Like for us, like at one point I was super stressed, I was yelling, but thankfully like everything went as planned. Yeah,
I mean, it all ended up great. We really, really enjoyed it. We got some amazing pictures. Our new channel cover photo is our sword arch. So yeah, that was an awesome time doing that with so many of our friends. I ultimately decided to do it in uniform. For a while, we were pretty torn. Like, oh, maybe I won't wear a uniform. I don't know if I want to have my wedding photos for the rest of my life in my Navy uniform. But we went with it and it turned out really well. So. Yeah, and then this is the suit my grandparents got me as well. But yeah, one thing I would like to end with is one thing you don't really think about is people love giving like gifts and presents to the bride and groom when they come. So ultimately, like whatever you spend on the wedding, for us, wasn't that much. People are gonna bring gifts, and in the end, like that's supposed to be probably for a honeymoon or something, but that really can help out to cancel the cost as well. So you don't end up spending as much as you think you will.
Right. And in our emails, we specifically said, hey, we don't want physical gifts. We are in the Navy. We move all the time. We already have everything we need. If you want to give us anything, please just give us a check or an Amazon gift card.
Yeah. So we did this thing called Honey Fund. You can look it up online. We're not sponsored or anything, but made it really easy. People could literally just donate in there. You could pull it out via Venmo or gift cards if you wanted to select whatever gift cards you wanted, and yeah, they could just donate to you, which was really cool.
Right. So, don't be afraid to tell family and your friends. I don't want things. I don't want this vintage crystal wine glass or the tablecloth or whatever. If you want to give me anything, just give me money. Like, I feel like don't be afraid to say that. People want to make you happy, and I believe you tell them you're about to move, they'll understand.
Yeah, and some people will probably still give you things, which is fine. But you know, it was great. I think it worked out really well. So if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. But yeah, you got anything else, Julie? No? All right, bye. See you in the next one.